The Pakistan-India War of 1947. The First War between Pakistan and India broke out in 1947–1948, soon after the independence and partition of the Indian subcontinent. When British rule ended in August 1947, the princely states were given the choice to join either Pakistan or India. Among them, the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir became the main cause of conflict between the two new nations. The ruler of Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, was a Hindu, while the majority of his population was Muslim. At first he wanted to remain independent. However, unrest soon broke out in Kashmir as local Muslims, supported by tribesmen from Pakistan, rose against him. In response, the Maharajas sought military help from India. India agreed on the condition that Kashmir would formally accede to India. Thus, in October 1947, the instrument of accession was signed, and Indian troops entered Kashmir. This led to open fighting between the armies of Pakistan and India. The war lasted from October 1947 to the end of 1948. Fierce battles were fought, especially in areas like Yeri, Baramulla, and Poonch. Thousands of soldiers and civilians lost their lives. Pakistan controlled the western part of Kashmir, now called as Jammu and Kashmir, while India retained the larger eastern portion, including the Kashmir Valley. In January 1948, India took the matter to the United Nations. The UN called for a ceasefire and passed resolutions demanding a plebiscite votes that the people of Kashmir could decide whether to join Pakistan or India. The ceasefire was finally implemented on the 1st of January 1949, establishing the line of control lock. However, the plebiscite was never held, and the Kashmir dispute remains unresolved to this day. The War of 1947 was the beginning of a long and bitter rivalry between Pakistan and India. It sowed the seeds of mistrust and hostility that have led to further wars and conflicts. For Pakistan, it was a struggle to support the rights of Kashmir's Muslim majority, while for India, it was about maintaining its territorial integrity. Conclusion: the Pakistan-India War of 1947 was not just the first armed clash between the two countries but also the start of the Kashmir dispute, which still shapes their relationship. It highlighted the challenges of partition and showed how unresolved issues at the time of independence could lead to long-lasting conflict. The Pakistan-India War of 1965. The Pakistan-India War of 1965 was the second major conflict between the two neighboring countries, fought over the unresolved issue of Kashmir. It began in April 1965 with border clashes in the Rann of Kutch and turned into a full-scale war in September. The main cause of the war was the Kashmir dispute. Pakistan launched Operation Gibraltar in August 1965. Sending armed infiltrators into Indian-held Kashmir to encourage local uprisings against Indian rule. This led to heavy fighting between the two sides. India retaliated by crossing the international border near Lahore on the 6th of September 1965, marking the official start of the war. Fierce battles were fought on land and in the air. The cities of Lahore, Sialkot, and Kausar became the main battlegrounds. Pakistan's armed forces, along with the nation's people, displayed great courage and unity. The Pakistan Air Force achieved notable victories, while the people of Lahore famously stood by their soldiers, showing immense patriotism. The war lasted for 17 days and ended when the United Nations called for a ceasefire on the 23rd of September 1965. Both countries suffered heavy losses of men and equipment, but neither could claim a clear victory. The war ended with the Tashkent Agreement in January 1966, brokered by the Soviet Union, where both sides agreed to withdraw to prove positions. Conclusion: the 1965 war was a significant moment in the history of Pakistan and India. It showed the bravery of the armed forces and the unity of the people. However, it also proved that war brings destruction without solving problems. The Kashmir issue remained unresolved, and tensions between the two countries continued. This is the current map of Kashmir. The Pakistan-India War of 1971. The Pakistan-India War of 1971 was the third major war between the two countries. Unlike the earlier wars, this conflict was mainly caused by political and civil unrest in East Pakistan, today's Bangladesh. After the 1970 general elections in Pakistan, political differences arose between East and West Pakistan. The Awami League, led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, won a majority but was not allowed to form the government. This led to protests, strikes, and violence in East Pakistan. When the Pakistan Army launched Operation Searchlight in March 1971 to control the situation, it caused large-scale civilian suffering. Millions of refugees fled to India, which increased tensions between Pakistan and India. In December 1971, war broke out. On the 3rd of December 1971, Pakistan launched airstrikes on India. In response, India entered the war on the side of East Pakistan. Heavy fighting took place both on the Western Front, Punjab and Sindh in East Pakistan. Within 2 weeks, Indian forces, along with the Mukti-Bahini Bangladeshi freedom fighters, surrounded Dhaka. On the 16th of December 1971, the Pakistan Army in East Pakistan surrendered. This led to the creation of Bangladesh as an independent country. The war was a major defeat for Pakistan and one of the shortest wars in history, lasting only 13 days. Conclusion: the 1971 war was a turning point in South Asian history. It resulted in the separation of East Pakistan and the birth of Bangladesh. It taught the lesson that political problems cannot be solved by force and that unity and justice are necessary for the strength of a nation. The Pakistan-India War of 1990. Kargil War. The Kargil War of 1999 was the fourth major conflict between Pakistan and India. It was fought in the Kargil district of Jammu and Kashmir between May and July 1999. Unlike the earlier wars, this conflict was limited to a specific region but gained worldwide attention because of its intensity and timing. The war began when Pakistani soldiers and Kashmiri fighters occupied strategic mountain peaks in the Kargil sector on the Indian side of the line of control lock. Their aim was to cut off the highway connecting Srinagar to Leh, which was vital for India's military supply lines. When India discovered this in May 1999, it launched a large military operation to recapture the heights. Fierce battles were fought in high-altitude areas such as Tiger Hill, Taloling, and Batoli K. The war was extremely difficult because of the rough terrain, snow-covered peaks, and lack of oxygen at high altitudes. Both sides showed bravery, but the conflict caused heavy losses of soldiers. International pressure, especially from the United States and other countries, played an important role in ending the war. In July 1999, Pakistan agreed to withdraw its forces from the Indian side of the lock. Conclusion: the 1999 Kargil War was short but intense. It reminded both nations of the dangers of armed conflict and the importance of peaceful dialogue. Though it ended quickly, it left a deep impact on Pakistan-India relations and showed that the Kashmir issue continues to be the main cause of tension between the two countries. The Pakistan-India War of 2025. On the 6th of May 2025, Indian forces launched an attack on Pakistan, falsely accusing it of being involved in a deadly attack in Pahalgam, a town in Indian-occupied Kashmir, where many people were killed. Pakistan strongly denied all these false allegations. Despite this, India carried out military aggression against Pakistan on the 7th of May 2025. The Pakistan Armed Forces responded with great courage and professionalism. They destroyed several Indian military posts in Indian-occupied Kashmir during an intense dogfight between two air forces. The Pakistan Air Forces gained a clear upper hand and shot down many Indian fighter jets, including for Rafale jets. India had been very proud of the Rafale fighters and believed they would give it superiority over the Pakistan Air Force. But this expectation was given wrong. In response to Indian drone strikes, Operation Bunyan Mahsoos was launched by Pakistan on the 10th of May 2025. Pakistan Air Force successfully targeted 26 strategic locations, including Indian air bases, destroying many of its key installations. After suffering heavy losses, India had no choice but to ask for peace. Finally, after repeated requests from U.S. President Donald Trump, Pakistan agreed to ceasefire. Due to the outstanding performance of the Pakistan Army, General Asim Munir was promoted to the rank of Field Marshal, a proud moment for the entire nation.